And to own a home in Maximum City, Mumbai looks like a distant dream as flats fail to sell and still cost a bomb. Sky-high prices have created a huge pile-up of inventory, with the number of unsold houses in Mumbai as high as 1.13 lakh units currently, or 129 million per square feet of unsold residential space. The builders claim that government approvals, cost of construction, high premium and interest funding rates levied on projects pushes them to hike the cost.
Property analysts and brokers have reported low or almost no sales in the past few months, but that hasn't stopped developers from hiking up property prices. A survey conducted among 55 projects revealed that developers like Kalpataru, Oberoi Realty and Nirmal have hiked prices by an average 10% in the past 3 months. However, in 8 projects, prices have increased by over 20%. At prime locations of Mumbai such as Ghatkopar, the Vadhva Group have hiked prices from 11,250 rupees per square feet to 12,400 rupees per square feet, while Kalpataru developers have hiked rates at Kalpataru Aura from 10,500 rupees per square feet to 11,500 rupees per square feet. Property analysts are surprised by this move by developers. According to a real estate research firm, the average cost of a flat is still prohibitively high at 1.12 crore rupees overall in the Mumbai metropolitan region, which comprises of Mumbai and suburbs like Thane, Kalyan, Vasai and Mira Bhayandar and the Navi Mumbai area. As per the survey, exorbitant prices have ensured that there is a huge pile-up of inventory, with the number of unsold houses in Mumbai as high as 1.13 lakh units currently, or 129 million per square feet of unsold residential space. As per property experts, the numbers have increased tremendously as new projects were launched after a long uncertain delay in building regulations. Builders have become more comfortable about their plans to launch new projects, and it is an estimate that this move will definitely increase prices as projects nearing possession have less execution risk. Buyers are quite comfortable in buying flats in such projects, and therefore builders also increase rates for them, cashing in on the high demand. The builders claim that the fault lies with the government approvals and levying of high premium. The developers give reason of high interest funding rates and cost of construction, which pushes them to hike the costs. Bureau Report, DD News, Mumbai.
And to talk more on what is the current status of the real estate sector in the financial capital, we are joined in our studio by Mr. Dipesh Bhaktani, who is the Executive Director of JC Homes Limited. Mr. Bhaktani, welcome to DD News. Mr. Bhaktani, please tell us what is the current real estate scenario in India?
Well, the real estate scenario is pretty good. We've seen a lot of development that's been happening, not only in the metro cities now, we have a lot of development also in the rural areas. The government has been pushing a lot of highways, which is connecting a lot of cities with the rural areas, and the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities are also seeing a lot of development. So the overall scenario in sense of development is pretty good for India.
Alright, how is the sector doing in the metro cities of the country?
Well, the metros were the only places that were doing well, but recently because of no government supports that we've got either in Mumbai or either we've got in Calcutta, or probably Delhi has got some support because it's being converted into the NCR now. But otherwise, I don't see there's a lot of things moving in the metros, though there is a lot of demand in the metros, a lot of construction happening, but I think the other cities are developing much faster.
Alright, will there be a correction in the prices? Because we see that the prices are remaining high, but the growth or the sales is stagnant. So do we expect a price correction ahead?
Well, I don't see a price correction till the government is supporting affordable housing, which is what India really needs, because 60% need affordable housing. The affordable housing schemes are not in place. The builders are pushing for it, but the pricing today, if you look, it's not going to go down because the cost is very high. The interest cost is very high. We are not getting funding. So all those kind of things are leading to a high escalation in prices, which is going to be passed on to the customers. Also, if you go to see service tax has been levied, or other kind of taxes, so we can't really help it.
We see that interest rates have gone down, and the home loans, interest rates on home loans have also gone down, but it's a very minor change. Do you think it is helping the sector?
It will help the sector, but we had 13 hikes in the past, and if we have just one reduction, I don't think it is really going to help us that much. But I think if there are more reductions, then I think it's the 3 basic amenity: roti, kapda, makan. So makan is something that is very necessary. I think if the government is supporting more, or the RBI has to have a look and get those basis points less, I think much better for us.
All right. We see that new regulations like DCR and fungible FSI have been hurting the sector, and realty builders who were on the initial stages have to restart their projects. So, what kind of impact do you see with this new regulations in DCR and fungible FSI?
We don't not support the fungible FSI. I think it's a good step in the right direction. But the existing projects which are already going on, where there are already some commitments that are given by the builder, and those kind of projects, there is going to be some difficulty. But if you go to see the fungible thing, it's in the right direction. It is giving more clarity to the customer as to what he's going to buy. Also, we've been proposing in MCHI Credit that you should sell flats on carpet pricing. So all those kind of things will support with this new DCR. But the existing projects are definitely going to take a big hit.
All right, Mr. Bhaktani, you being a Mumbai developer, which areas of the city are highly priced, and which are the that not so highly priced?
I think the western suburbs between Juhu to Bandra is very highly priced, and it's very surprising that it's almost matched the rates of town today. If you go look at Malabar Hill and Bandra Pali Hill, the prices are almost the same, which were not expected. These prices are high. Overall, Mumbai is an expensive city. If you can only compare it to a city like Manhattan in New York, if the real estate market in India is to go down, you will now see Bombay real estate market going down because the demand is very high, and it is going to remain an expensive affair until there is some affordable schemes in place.
All right. Now, coming to foreign direct investment, it's currently at 49%. What are the demands of the sector in terms of foreign direct investment?
Well, FDI is always welcome, and we've also had some external commercial borrowing that was given in the budget that it can be allowed in real estate sector, which is going to be a step in the right direction. But yes, if we can have probably FDI also in smaller projects, not necessarily above 5 lakh square feet, then that will be much better.
All right. So, coming to technology and infrastructure, what kind of demands are for today from the real estate sector?
I think developers are bringing the best technology in real estate. That's what we've been seeing on pan-India basis, that there is good technology, but the infrastructure in the metro cities is suffering very heavily. You look at a city like Bombay, which has been voted as the 30th worst city. It's not a right feather in the cap. Or if you look at the CRZ norms and all those kind of things that are hitting Bombay, if you look at any financial capital of any country, they don't have these kind of norms. The infrastructure is extremely poor, and it's not matching India standards.
All right. What about SEZs? Do we see any improvements due to SEZs?
Well, SEZs, there are very few projects that have actually gone through. There are a lot of, now you have the land acquisition bills and a lot of other formalities that have come into place, which is making that also very difficult. It's not become very easy. You have a lot of clearances from the environment, from various other authorities, which is not giving way to a lot of SEZs as of now.
What would be your expectation from the government?
I think they should speed up the process. They should have one single window clearance. They should have one particular window where they can have everything cleared, so that we can do the construction faster, get the approvals in place, and due to which the cost can come down.
And in future, can we expect prices to come down?
Yes, if those affordable schemes and approvals go much faster, then the building can be completed in a certain time, which we are promising to customer. If the approvals are going to take 2 years and the project is going to take 5 years, we have some interest in the market that we are paying, so the cost almost gets double. If in these places are on track, or if at least we get approvals in 60 days, 90 days, which I think it should be, then probably it's fine. Gujarat has it almost in 30 days. Why can't Maharashtra have it? Why can't other states have it? So
right.
That is
Mr. Bhaktani, also tell us, don't you think that if infrastructure improves, then the prices of the suburbs, areas like Virar, Nalasopara and Kharghar will also, the prices of homes will also boost there, because if infrastructure, people will start buying there.
Well, communication, transport is one of the main things. Wherever you can reach is necessary. If you have the local trains going to Virar, we've seen a huge demand in Virar right now. The prices are already pretty high there, and obviously the highways that have connected to Virar, or the highways that are going to Gujarat, which is on the way, has definitely helped those areas.
All right, but people always say, and developers always say, that prices might come down if government improves the infrastructure. So this is a major concern, that if infrastructure increases, if we have more flyovers, if we have more trains, if we have metros, then people will start buying there, so prices may boost.
Yeah, the prices may boost also, but a lot of area the prices might reduce also. Now there's a lot of difference between an area like Juhu or an area like Ghatkopar. If there is good transportation, then people wouldn't really mind staying there and traveling for work out here also, which will probably balance the rates in the city.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Bhaktani, for sharing your views with Doordarshan.
Thanks.
And moving on, the